You might think that a $2 tip at the coffee shop goes straight to your barista, but nearly 3% vanishes before they ever see it because payment processors skim their cut from both your drink and your gratitude. Ask yourself, if every fee we pay is supposed to serve us, why do so many end up padding someone else's profit? The truth behind these so-called service fees reveals a system designed to hide the real cost of everything you buy, and by the end you will know exactly which fees are legitimate and which are pure extraction. So how did companies turn the simple act of paying into a game you are set up to lose? Touchscreens at the register are not just replacing the tip jar, they are rewriting the rules of who profits from your generosity. When you tap 20% on a digital prompt, you are not just tipping your barista. You are boosting the bottom line of payment companies like Square, Toast, and Clover. Their software is designed to suggest higher tips, 20% as the default, sometimes even 25%, anchoring your choice before you have a moment to think. The options for no tip or a custom amount hide in smaller print. It is not an accident. These screens rely on guilt and the feeling that someone is watching, nudging you to leave more than you planned. But here is the trick. The payment processor takes its 2.5 to 3% cut on the entire amount, not just the price of the coffee. If you buy a $10 sandwich and add a $5 tip, the processor charges its fee on $15. That means the more you tip, the more the software company earns. Across thousands of transactions, this adds up fast. One study found digital tip prompts increased overall tip volume by 26%. Some kiosks now ask for tips even when no employee is involved, like at airport self-checkouts. The system rewards itself for every dollar you give, turning what used to be a private act of appreciation into a revenue stream for companies you have never met. The tip screen is not just about gratitude, it is about extraction, engineered by design. A line on the receipt reads 20% service charge to support our staff. For most diners that sounds like a tip, money meant for the people who brought the food, filled the water and cleared the plates. But under US labor law, a mandatory service charge is not a tip. It is business revenue controlled entirely by the owner. The Fair Labor Standards Act treats these charges as wages, not gratuity. That means the employer can use them to pay minimum wage, cover overtime, or simply pad the bottom line. The money might be distributed through payroll, split among all employees, or kept to offset expenses. There is no legal requirement for it to reach your server at all. Courtrooms have weighed in as well. In 2022, a federal appeals court in Florida ruled that an 18% automatic charge at a steakhouse counted as wages. The employer could use it to meet wage obligations, not as a direct tip for staff. The IRS agrees. If the customer does not control the amount, it is not a tip, regardless of what the receipt says. This legal sleight of hand creates a gap between what customers believe and what actually happens. According to a national survey, more than 80% of consumers feel deceived when they find out that a service charge is not a tip. The wording is ambiguous enough to invite confusion, and that confusion lets owners shift labor costs onto customers while keeping advertised prices deceptively low. The result is clear. The money you thought was a thank you for good service often disappears into payroll, overhead, or profit, with workers left to explain the difference. A delivery app order starts with a menu price that looks familiar, say $20 for your favorite takeout. But by the time you reach the checkout screen, the total has climbed to $28 or more. The receipt breaks it down: a delivery fee, a service fee, sometimes a regulatory fee. These are not tips. The delivery fee, usually $3 to $5, only partly reaches the driver. The service fee, often another $2 to $4, goes straight to the platform. Add in taxes, and you are paying almost 40% more than the restaurant's price. The restaurant, meanwhile, pays a commission to the platform, anywhere from 15% to 30% of the original order. On a $20 meal, the restaurant might see just $14 after the platform takes its share. The driver's pay is not tied to what you pay in fees. Instead, it is set by an algorithm that weighs distance, time, and demand. A typical driver might see $7 for that same order, regardless of how many fees the customer paid. DoorDash and Uber Eats keep the spread, collecting from both sides, while restaurants and workers fight for what is left. The more fees added, the wider the gap between what you pay and what anyone else receives. A traveller books a hotel room online. The search page promises $200 a night, a fair deal for a weekend escape. But at check-in, the front desk hands over a bill that has jumped to $250 per night. The culprit is a mandatory resort fee added for Wi-Fi, gym access and the pool, whether you use them or not. These nightly charges often range from $25 to $50, quietly multiplying the cost of a stay. For a 3-night trip, that is an extra $150, never mentioned in the bold print of the search results. The real sting comes at checkout when taxes are calculated on top of the inflated total, pushing the final bill even higher. Hotels have used this trick for years to appear cheaper than competitors on booking sites, hiding true costs until the last possible moment. The Federal Trade Commission stepped in, labelling these resort fees as junk fees and demanding all-in pricing. As of 2025, hotels are required to show every mandatory fee in the first price you see. The days of sticker shock at the front desk are supposed to be over, but for years, billions in hidden charges were quietly collected, one night at a time. A concert ticket shows $65 in bold, promising a night of live music. But at checkout, the price balloons to $85 or more. The culprit is a tangle of service and facility fees, extra charges that have nothing to do with the seat itself. These add-ons can reach 75% of the original ticket price, even though the process of delivering a barcode is exactly the same whether you pay $65 or $200. The fees scale with the ticket price, not with the cost of providing the service. A $40 jump on a $65 ticket, a $60 jump on a $100 ticket. There is no added value, just a bigger cut for the ticketing company. The breakdown is never clear, leaving buyers to wonder what exactly their money is funding. A credit card swipe in a foreign country looks simple, but the statement at home reveals a hidden toll. Most banks tack on a 3% foreign transaction fee for every purchase made abroad, whether you are buying a train ticket in Paris or a coffee in Tokyo. Card issuers say this covers currency conversion, but the real cost of converting money is often less than 1%. The rest goes straight to the bank's profit column. Even purchases billed in US dollars can trigger the fee if they are processed by an overseas merchant. That $100 souvenir can cost $103 without warning. Yet some cards offer zero foreign transaction fees, proving the surcharge is optional, not a necessity. For travellers, the difference between cards can mean hundreds of dollars lost or saved, all depending on which plastic you pull from your wallet. A free trial for a streaming service promises a month at no cost. All it takes is a credit card and a quick sign-up. But when the trial ends, the charges begin, often for a full year up front. Cancelling is not a simple click. Instead, companies require a phone call during business hours, or they hide the option deep in account menus. Some offer a pause feature that keeps billing at a reduced rate, betting you will forget to cancel for good. These obstacles are not accidental. They are designed to make quitting harder than signing up. On average, people lose $133 a year to subscriptions they no longer use, trapped by friction and forgetfulness. This is the logic of dark patterns, systems built not to serve but to extract one unnoticed renewal at a time. Every hidden fee chips away at trust, and the numbers prove it. 85% of consumers say transparency determines their loyalty. As regulators force honest pricing into the spotlight, our vigilance becomes leverage. The real cost isn't just money, it's our willingness to accept less clarity. Share your thoughts below.